As you can see, it's rather late, or I guess early. So you've seen me talk about building the frames. Now I'm going to talk about what I'm going to do with them all. So I've got these paintings right here. Well, one painting right here. All the others are over here. Once these are all packed up, they'll be ready to ship out, which is good because they're being shipped out in several days. I'm on the last one right now. Much better. So now I gotta just fiddle with it to make sure the spacing and all the sides is consistent. This can actually be rather tricky because the tension of the canvas can pull in and make it bevel a little bit, so the lines aren't always exactly parallel. So if that happens, I can sometimes do little techniques to straighten it out. Generally, I try to stretch things at the right tension so that just isn't a problem in the first place. But right now, I'm just trying to have a 1/4 inch spacing consistently around all the edges. Spacers can be some real high-tech, sophisticated materials. Because I paint rather thick, sometimes I get nice big gobs on the outside edges, so I don't need spacers here because the paint is acting like a spacer for me. Nothing too fancy, just using screws to hold the canvas into the frame. Good old Robertsons, because they are obviously the best kind of screw in the world. If the canvas is a little floppy or rippled in places after you've put it in the frame, which can happen for some strange reason, because they're both square going in, so I don't know what happens, but who knows. Anyway, a really good way to tighten the canvas afterwards is to just take a little bit of warm water and pour it on the back, rub it into the canvas, and just like that nice new shirt that gets out of the dryer and it's 2 sizes too small all of a sudden, the same thing happens to your canvas. So if it's a little floppy or a little wavy, just add that water and be nice and tight when it dries, and it'll stay that way. Paintings always look best when they're aligned not by center, but aligned by 1/3 of the way down from the top. So there's 2 ways to do this. One is kind of difficult and involves a lot of math and figuring out stuff and calculating beforehand and marking and being very precise, and it's a pain in the ass and a lot of work. A much easier way to do this: take every painting and 1/3 of the way from the top, put your D-ring, and then eventually put your hanging wire. Then along your wall, this hasn't been done here by the way, you add a straight horizon line at roughly eye level. Put in your nails wherever or your screws wherever you want. Then hang the art, and because every piece is 1/3 from the top, they all just kind of line up perfectly in that optimal positioning, and you don't have to do any math at all aside from measuring the length and dividing by 3, which is pretty easy. I'm using 65-pound wire because, well, the paintings probably weigh almost 20 pounds each, so it's good to be safe. Round up, never round down. There's really no point in 40. This way I can just use the same roll for pretty much everything, except the really, really big ones. So it's a matter of convenience. It's a little more money for me, but really it's like 20 cents a piece, so who cares? It's better overall. It's worth it.